Hi, I'm Talia. For our final project, in EDU 333, she's having us put together a portfolio of pretty much everything that we've learned in a classroom, um, things that we can, technology tools that could be used in a classroom. So pretty much what I'm going to do is give each a brief summary about each of the tools, and then the ISTE standard that demonstrates the project, as well as a brief analyst of the tool. So the first one I'm going to start with is Google Collaborative Tools. This is a really great way for students to use these in a classroom. Say for instance, if a professor wants to introduce, an essay, they can use the docs, or slides they can use for something that they're presenting. I'm going to take you out of here and show you a way to access this. It's simple. You just get online. You go up to the little URL bar, and you type in Google, and then you hit the Google Drive, and then you go to the side up here, sign in. Okay, and this just shows you all of the things that I have here that I've already have done through the Google Drive itself. But if you pull this down, it also shows you that you could do docs, sheets, slides, and so forth. And if you hit more, it takes you to like the forums, which is a really neat thing. She had us do a group project where we each had to make up, a survey. And this was great to do to get to know this a little bit better. This would be great to use in a classroom for a project. Everybody who is in the group can access it. Up here, you could see that, whoever is in the group can see it. It'll pop up here. You're able to communicate sometimes on a side. There's a little bar that you could talk about, the project with. This is a really great way to incorporate it in a classroom. And I believe that for the ISTE standard for this, I think that it is citizen as well as learner. It's a great way to introduce it into a classroom and really show what the Google Collaborative tools are. The next one I chose is Voki. This was really neat. I really personally enjoyed this one, and I think this is a great way to incorporate something new in a classroom. Sorry, Voki is a way to, instead of showing yourself, you can make a character that kind of depicts who you are, even a character that doesn't look anything like you, to have speak for what you want to say. She gave us a project where we had to make our own Voki, and this was really neat too, because we were allowed to become something different rather than ourselves. And I'm just going to show you a little bit what Voki is. You can go in and you start there.
Click the button to
Not there. Usually you have to download the Adobe because it's a virtual character. So for instance, you have this Voki character over here, and you can customize them however you want. And this is the coolest part, is you can give them a speech to say. So for example, and I'm not sure why it's not. Okay.
this virtual program great to use in classroom.
So this is a good way for students to use it if they're wanting to, talk about something. They don't have to show their face on here. This is a great use. Also is a great use for professors, teachers, if they want to bring something new to the table. They could use this if they don't want to do it in a classroom. This is just a great way to incorporate it into the classroom. I believe for the standards, this one would be the designer and a collaborator. It gives the student a way to really design, what they like. So the next one I have is QR codes, which this is a really neat program because you can use QR codes for things like scavenger hunts, so forth. If you're having a scavenger hunt, you can have the students take out their phones because technology is huge today and scan the QR code, to show where to go next. Or maybe if you have scanned a QR code to see what your homework is, this is a great way to do it. And you can easily access the QR codes if you just go online and you simply type in, QR code generator. I just go to the first one I see. And so, for example, I'm going to do a URL. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the forum that I had from the Google. So then I'm going to paste that, and then I'm going to create the code. And over here shows the code, and you would download that, and it would give you a little thing, and it would give you this little QR code you can post so that people can take pictures of it. I think this is really great to have in a classroom because it's a newer way to maybe, do homework or give assignments or do scavenger hunts. The bad thing is not everybody does have phones, and depending on how old your students are, it would be a little bit hard to, get them to all have their phones out. But I think that for the ISTE standards, I think that this one's a facilitator, analyst, designer, as well as the learner. I think this is a great way for students to kind of learn on their own and become, more memorable of things that are different as these QR codes. So copyrights is something that we went over a lot about in our classroom. Copyright is a way to keep your own work protected so nobody else can steal it. And the C right here is a big thing. We were taught that if you see it somewhere and it's on a picture, that you cannot just copy and paste it, that you have to ask for permission. And this is a really important thing because if you go online and you're looking for a picture, and you're going in and you're just looking for a simple picture of a teacher, could see here, if there is not a copyright thing on there, then you're good to go. But if there is, you have to ask for permission. Like this one right here has little copyright, so this is not allowed. So it says right here, images may be subject to copyright, and that's something you have to be careful of. If not, you always want to make sure that you get the picture that you want, but then you also copy and paste it, but you also put where this picture has came from. So you copy the URL and put underneath the picture. I think learning about copyrights is really important because it's something that is absolutely true and does happen, and you can get in trouble for it. I think that this is all ISTE standards because it's allowing the students to really understand that it's not a joke and you should never copyright. Alright, Screen-O-Matic, and I chose this little bland picture here because this is exactly what my screen looks like right now without, the black behind it. It has my screen. This is a awesome tool, and I absolutely love it. It's a way for you to kind of show exactly what you're doing on the screen so that others can see it. And I think this is a great way to do, lessons for students. If you are sick one day but you still want to give a lesson, you could always use this. This is a good way to incorporate a different way of teaching. And to locate this, you just go onto the site, the Screen-O-Matic site. which is super easy and it allows you to use it for free. You just start doing it, and then it pulls up a little thing which you have to download, and then it brings up a little square box around your screen. This is just like a little thing that works.
Customized.com. To get started, click the Start button.
So this is just an easy way to show you how to do it, and it's very simple, and it's an awesome, super awesome way to use in a classroom. The students can even use it, like I am now doing a project, and I think this is for the ISTE standards is the designer and collaborator. Also, the only con that I see in this is that sometimes your computer is not always going to be up to par, and it may happen that you can't download, or just like little malfunctions that can occur. All right, Powtoon, which is awesome. This is really cool. This is a way to show the way you show whatever you're doing in a more fun way. And I have a little bit of my own that I want to show you. So this is a really neat way to unique way to introduce things, introduce yourself, introduce students. It's a really awesome tool. It's a great resource to use, and something fun, and something that you can make of your own. Um, I think that for the IST standard would be designer. It definitely shows educators how to design authentic, and as a way for them to be driven on activities and environments that recognize and accommodate learning variability. This is a great way for students to have fun, and I sure had fun doing it. The con about this is that some students may not be acclimated to it. They may not be able to use it due to, if they can't use computers or so forth. And that's the end of my show. I really enjoyed this class, and I think it helped great with learning on how to really incorporate great tools into a classroom, fun and unique. I've learned awesome things. I know a lot about the ISTE standards now, all of the tools, and a way to be a better teacher for the future students. And thank you for watching.